Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Celebration of Love here at the Global Truth Center, Toronto. I'm Reverend Helen Velo, and it's so wonderful to have you join us this morning. Joining me this morning to provide you with some inspiration is our wonderful Reverend Fred Wimette, along with the beautiful, talented, and soulful Deb Chamberlain, who's our musician for the morning. So, coming together on a Sunday, coming together anytime to recognize who we are. Our theme for the month of July is letting go. Let go of it all. And our vision statement is love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And to know that there is a creative, indestructible, absolute self-existent cause. To recognize this is who we are, the infinite self-knowingness of creative energy. And so to also acknowledge that it is within every human being the capacity to bring forth into the world of form the abundance of every good thing which you desire. Love is the sole impulse for creation, and no one can truly create it without heart. For the whole universe is based on love. So this morning, let's come together wherever we are in the world, wherever you are in your living room, out on your porch, soaking up the sun, and recognize that we use this energy, this infinite creative energy, individually and collectively, to know that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. We are part of a universal presence of infinite possibility. And with that, I'm going to invite Deb Chamberlain in for our opening song. And good morning, Deb. Nice to have you join us.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Good morning,
Oh,
everyone.
happy to have you. And just so you know, Deb is joining us from New Jersey. And you're starting off with an original.
Yes, it's
Yes.
called Beloved Divine.
Take it away.
Stand at the ocean, looking out across the water, not fully realized I am my mother's daughter. But I know what I want and where I'm going. Grateful for the path you are showing. As I walk the longest mile, one small step at a time, with faith through every trial, I know that I will find my joy, my heart's desire, freedom and peace of mind. They rise up from the fire that burns with my beloved divine. There's not one single day, one forsaken night, I don't feel you here, right here inside. I know with every choice I am making, the moon and stars are mine for the taking. As I walk the longest mile, one small step at a time, with faith through every trial, I know my heart's desire, freedom and peace of mind. They rise up from the fire that burns with my beloved divine. I don't have to pretend anymore that I don't know what my life is for. You keep your promise behind every door. I am blessed, of this I am sure. As I walk the longest mile, one small step at a time, with faith through every trial, I know that I will find my joy, my heart's desire, freedom and peace of mind. They rise up from the fire that burns with my beloved. I yearn for my beloved. I turn to my beloved divine.
That was so beautiful, so tender. Thank you.
Thank
What
you.
a wonderful way to start us off this morning. Thanks. I'm going to have you just put your hands over your heart and recognize your own journey that you've been on in your life. Wow. We've all been on journeys, and to allow ourselves to recognize all parts of the journey, the ups, the downs, the twists, the turns, and those beautiful, glorious moments where we've felt ourselves held by the divine. Just take a moment and breathe into that. Oh, it's so amazing that, all of us have our experiences, and, our conditioning is to have us go back to what was tough, what didn't work, what was wrong. And yet here we come together to train our minds to focus on what is true. Not right, not good, not bad. Truth. Truth that the ultimate reality is one of love, joy, peace, and harmony. And each one of us can embody and live from this absolute truth. And so take a moment and recognize that what we choose to focus on will determine the world that we experience and the journey that we are on. Because whatever direction our mind takes and firmly believes in always forms a new pattern within this atmosphere of pure potentiality when we are living in the divine, the quantum field, the absolute truth that is filled with possibility. So let us focus on the possibilities as we embrace the theme of letting go this month of July. For if we continue to live in the past as we have lived in the past, then our future just ends up being more of the same. Know that we can bring ourselves back and with conviction to recognize, I stand for peace. I stand for love. I am convicted in being compassionate and living in harmony with abundance and joy. I am convicted in opening my consciousness to learn more and more and more to expand. I am convicted in standing for the right for every being on this earth plane to experience safety and security. And this is what we do. We stand for the knowing that the incarnation of spirit is in all beings and that every person is an incarnation of the one spirit. And we stand for the unity of all life. We stand for the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all of us, to all beings. So as we choose to live from this consciousness of love, we recognize the conscious stream of truth that is run through all the great spiritual and philosophical teachings from times of antiquity. And it's all saying the one thing. There is an infinite creative power of love and light within each and every one of us. And so, this morning, as we focus on letting go, letting the divine, that infinite field of possibilities to guide us, let us also open up our minds and our hearts to the wellspring of love that lives within each and every one of us. And so it is. And I'm going to bring in Deb again for our invocation song, along with the beautiful Reverend Fred Womet.
You are the greatest, you. There's nothing you must do. Just be who you are in truth. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's full of promise. Right here where we are, where light shines upon us, is everything we need and everything we are, as we let go of fear and reach toward the stars. You are the greatest, you. There's nothing you must do. Just be who you are in truth. Do you want to go? Who do you want to be with? Listen to your heart. That is where the truth lives. Everything you need and everything you are, it will all be yours as you reach toward the stars. 'Cause you are the greatest, you. There's nothing you must do. Just be who you are in truth.
And releasing everything that transpired before this moment come into this moment, knowing that there is one connection, one light, one truth, one love, and that each and every one of us are connected to that life, to that love, to that sense of joy and peace. And as I come into this moment, I recognize laughter and light and love and joy. As I come together with this community, recognizing that we're one, all one, and that as we collectively be who we are individually, that is what creates community. That is what creates infinite energy that goes out into the world and feeds the need for love and joy and peace everywhere. And that as a community, as an individualized member of this community, that I know that my strength is in love. I know that my strength is being present right here, right now. And I know that every word spoken today is exactly what every single person needs to hear on some level. So I allow this to be spoken through me, as God, as love. And I recognize with gratitude this amazing journey, the journey that has brought me to this point, and the journey that continues in ways that I cannot even imagine, because life is infinite, and it's in that infinite that I live, and I'm filled with gratitude for that. And as I release these words, I recognize the power of the words and the thoughts and beliefs. So as I release, I let go. I know that it is done. And so it is.
It's already done. Your destiny is won as you surrender to who you shall become. To the greatest you, there's nothing you must do. Just be who you are. The greatest you, there's nothing you must do. Just remember who you are in truth.
Well, that couldn't have been more setting the stage in just a deeply rich spiritual way. Wow. That was truly divine. Thank you both. Fred, you're staying on with me.
Thank you.
I'm not letting you go now that you're on.
You got me. I'm booked for the hour, so we're good. Anything you need, Rev Helen.
Oh, so letting go. Wow. What does that mean for you this month, Fred?
I think about, it's something that comes to consciousness. So of course we think about it, right? Because that's the purpose of the theme is how is it canoodling its way into your life, and what does it mean? I think the one thing that I thought of Eckhart Tolle and the Power of Now, and he says, basically, you have to let go of everything if you really want to be present now. That means, quit labeling good, bad, or whatever. Just being present means really letting go. Ernest Holmes talks about, I know nothing, now what can I know? So letting go of everything that you think you know, everything that you think you've experienced, and makes, us reverends, say, for example, versus, whatever the title is, and letting it all go and just really being in the moment.
Mhm.
And truthfully, I would say that letting go, if it wasn't for letting go this month, this whole year, but in particular this month, I'm finally sorry. My computer is doing wacky things. There, it's done. But so if you're hearing the little noise, my apologies for
Well,
that.
just let go. Don't worry
They
about
let it go. Yeah, we had to let go of some technical things before I came on. I
Mhm.
turned on my computer and it was rebooting and it kept going 10%, 20%. And I kept saying, oh my gosh. And then I had my phone turned off on Do Not Disturb. It doesn't come on off of Do Not Disturb until 10 o'clock in the morning on Sundays and Saturdays. So it wasn't on. And then I saw that you had called. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, but let it go,
Let it go. Let it go.
And yeah, also on a more profound level too. I mean, letting go letting go of some of the processes of grief that I've been experiencing and allowing myself to know that you can
Mm.
that you're not letting go of the love, because I've
Oh, yeah.
expressed earlier in the year that grief is really love, and so I've been saying that as I've been healing through this process called grief, and this month, I was having conversations with people where it's like I actually feel truly, genuinely joy again, and not joy and still grieving or anything, but realizing that love. That I'm not letting go of the love. I can still hold the love, but I don't have to stay on that main floor of grief anymore. I can move up to the upper levels, which is enjoying life and all those other fun things again too. Um, but respecting that journey of letting go, um, and for me, it's not just grief, but letting go of anything for me has really changed over the years. Um, right now, for me, letting go is an opportunity to allow something else to be brought in.
Mhm.
And so we talk about the law of reciprocation, we talk about the law of circulation, we talk about all of those things, and it's all energy. And so too and so letting go of all attachments. The other thing is that you have to, so I go on feeling. You see, like for me, it's about feelings. So something doesn't feel right long enough. And I know that I have to move through it or work through it. And you'll hear people say, well, letting go is hard. This happened to me, and letting go is hard. It's easier said than done, right? And 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 you know what? It can be, and there's no dismissal of anybody's experiences of difficulty letting go of things. I get that. The truth is, though, is when you really want to do the work, and you really do, when you are ready and say, I've had enough of this, whatever this is, whatever this is, and you've had enough of it, and being able to say, so what's the belief behind it? You see, because sometimes we forget to go to the belief. I'm feeling this. Well, feelings are, born out of beliefs. So what is the belief that I have to change in order to change that feeling, in order to
Mhm.
change that? And once the feeling changes, then I don't have that need to let it weigh me down. Um, I, you know, I, and this is not theoretical for me, it's practical. I've experienced, as I've talked about in the past, tremendous healing. I'm going fishing with my father. Okay. And I'm in August. I told him I'm coming up to visit him, and he said, what do you want to do? I said, whatever you want. And he goes, how about if we go fishing? I haven't fished with my dad since 1975.
Wow.
And I, so I've been thinking this month, the father energy has been very, very prevalent, right, in my life for the last little while. And it was interesting because I suddenly thought, I'm going fishing with my dad. And so this month I was like, what did I have to let go to get there? I had to let go of making him the bad guy, which I had been working on for a long time, making him responsible for anything in my life that doesn't
Mhm.
suit me, right? I've been away from him for, I lived at home for 15 years of my life. I've been away 4 times that now almost. So I'm really going to let some of those niggly beliefs that I have that perhaps even planted or were planted really guide me at this age, right? So I
Yeah.
had to let go. I had to let go of a lot of things, and I've been consciously thinking about the things that I've had to let go. And it's been a process, and it's been a fantastic process. And it has brought me to the point where I cannot wait to sit on the shore and fish with my dad. Like
Mm.
I'm beyond excited to do that, and that's just a place I never thought I would be in this life. Um,
Wow.
so get to the belief. What's the belief? Go to the belief. It's hard. It can feel hard to get to the belief because we don't want to look at it, right? Sometimes we don't want to let go of the story that served us so well for so long. And we've heard of people who tell the story of the tragedy in their life, that they continue to tell it in such a way that they even find like humorous ways of telling it, but it's still keeping that
Hmm.
belief alive that may be preventing you from experiencing something else, right?
Very true. So
Yeah.
true. So, well, you're going to have an amazing summer, an amazing time with your dad, just being able to let it all go.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. It's going to be near the end
Oh.
of August. It's near the end of August, and with and it's funny because I've always been more aligned. I felt with my mother energy because she was easy to date. She passed when she was
Hmm.
28, right? And I was 9. And so being reconnected with my father, I even had the thought about this. What if my mother had lived, and this is this month, and my father had passed when I was 9?
Hmm.
My father would have done no fault at that point because I was 9, right? He would have my mother would have had to bear the brunt of all of my issues, right? And she would have been more human and alive to me. And so I just had this whole thing about that's made it easier for me to let go, to
Hmm.
be honest, to let go, to say, my mother would have been a human and had, you know, issues just like everything else, and you know maybe she would have been the bad guy or whatever, like,
Right.
you
Yeah.
see. So all of a sudden, here I am, and it's interesting too, because I said to my father, I said, you know what I love about being with you right now? And he said, what? And I said, we're both seniors together almost. Like, I can visit him and go at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I can go, oh, I really feel like a nap. My dad will be like, he's 81. He's like, yeah. And we'll go have a nap, right? And I keep thinking, but again, it's like letting go of the story that my dad was the bad guy and my mother was the good guy. And this is that my life is horrible because of this happening, and all
Hmm.
of those things now, and I've let those go. I've worked through those in my 20s. That's how I managed to have success in life. I know on some level I did, but now I'm consciously going in and saying, okay, niggly little roots, right? Where's the belief? Where's the belief? And then weeding that sucker out, right?
Oh, yeah. Because there's always more to do. We're never
Yes,
finished.
that's
Yeah.
right.
We are never finished of letting go
No,
of
no,
limiting beliefs and
because
experiences.
that's right. And when you think about it, it's logical, because that means the law of circulation never finishes, because we're
Correct.
never also not getting new experiences or opportunities. Like,
Exactly.
how many people do you see that are in their, sometimes even in their 70s, right? I know that we don't know a lot of people like that, but in our lives, we know people who are still living the same life they were living when you knew them when they were younger, and they're still carrying on the same way. It's
Hmm.
because they haven't let go. They've stopped that flow of circulation to allow the new experiences that are fantastic. And our world post COVID is so much, okay, I'm going to say it. I feel so excited for what's already
Oh, yeah.
transpiring. It's already here, and I already feel it. And I
Yeah.
think, mystics feel it. I think we all feel it as we're coming together. We just feel this light. And yes, there's still things going on, but it's like the letting go of the last bastion of what maybe like something of circumstances that are no longer serving. So they're coming to the surface so you can see them, and now we can move through them, right? And to do it compassionately and with love. And like you said at the beginning, always with compassion and love, and that as sort of the foundation of how you view things. If you're moving into something and it doesn't feel good, if you're moving into something that doesn't feel fulfilling to you and good, then take a look at that and look at the belief behind it, and then let it go. Be willing to let it go. The story that you had yesterday does not have to be the story that you have today, right? And there it is.
Beautiful. Oh, I just love your wisdom, Reverend Fred. You're
Oh,
so beautiful. Thank you. Would you
thank
like to
you.
lead us through the affirmation?
Yes, and I'll have to use my glasses for it, though.
That's okay. Can you
So
see it
everybody
on your
have a
phone?
giggle. I can see it. I can see it.
Okay.
So here it is. I'm going to say it once, and then I'm going to invite you to say it once with me. So I realize my attachments and open myself to the wonders of the universe.
Yeah. Can I just say, I release my attachments?
What did I say?
Realize.
Oh, okay. So it's very fine print.
Yes, Fred is streaming in from his phone.
Yeah, so that was part of our overcoming our technical issues this morning. So together we can say it if you can see it, and we'll say it, but say it with conviction. Just say it like your soul is feeling it. It's changing energy. Just know it's changing energy. Here it is. I release my attachments and open myself to the wonders of the universe.
Brilliant.
Ah,
Brilliant. And you are opening
yeah.
yourself up. So
Thank you.
thank you so much. I love you.
Thank you.
See you in a little
Love you
bit.
too.
Okay, I'm going to bring Deb back in for our feature song.
That was great.
It was.
So this next song that I wrote, Let Go, Let God, is exactly what the affirmation is about. And here in America, we've had a lot of things to let go of in the last couple of months. And we're not letting go into nothing. We're letting go into the creative power that's always with us. There is never any doubt in my mind that I am here for something bigger than my life. I'm not always sure what I will find, but I know where to look right here inside. As I let go and let God take my hand, I let go and let God design my sacred plan. I let go and let God tend to my what and where. I let go and let God lead me there. In my inner stillness, I receive a vision that only my soul can feel and see. And everything that I will ever need will be revealed upon the path before me. As I let go, let God take my hand. I let go and let God design my sacred plan. I let go and let God tend to my what and where. I let go and let God lead me there. And my garden will forever grow, blooming from the seeds that I will sow. Desires planted in my heart, blossoming through me into living art. As I let go, let God take go and let God design my sacred plan. I let go and let God tend to my what and will. I let go and let God lead me there. I let go and let God. I let go and let God.
Thank you. Your songwriting is beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
Oh, letting go. Wow. Oh, I thought I was taking you off there, Deb, but I missed. Hang on. There you go. Now it's all about me. Oh, yes, letting go. Letting go is as Deb said, it's not about just things being willy-nilly. It's letting go so that you can tap into that infinite creative power within us. And it really is like our superpower. Letting go is a superpower that makes it possible for us to live our life at a higher level of consciousness. And like Reverend Fred said, letting go allows us to completely reframe the story from which we're living our life. And isn't that all what we're committed to doing? Living our life, living as love, forgiving everything, and coming back and touching into remembering who we truly are, that we are that infinite creative power, so that we are living our life at a higher level of consciousness. So I want you to say to yourself, I have a superpower. I have a superpower. My superpower is that I let go and fully surrender into the love I truly am. And say it one more time. I have a superpower. My superpower is that I let go and I fully surrender into the love I truly am. So the challenge is to free ourselves from the handcuffs that limit our ability to get past those old versions of ourselves and our old versions of what we thought life was supposed to be. And if any of you had Rogers as your service provider on last Friday, you had to let go. You really had to let go. And, I was in Connecticut, and in the mornings when I'm away, I always call Derek at about 6 o'clock, 6:30, check in with him before I start my day. And I couldn't get through. And I thought, oh, what's wrong with my phone? And so I kept trying a few more times and couldn't get through. And I thought, okay, well, there's something going on with my phone, but I needed to start my day and start working at 7:15. So, and Friday, the final Friday morning of the process is pretty full on and hectic. So I didn't get back to my phone until lunchtime, which was about 1 o'clock. And I'm fiddling around. I'm like, I still can't call. I can't send any texts. I don't get what's going on here. I said to the team at our team meeting before we all left for lunch, and 3 of us were going out for lunch. I said, whomever can figure out why my phone isn't working, I will buy them lunch. So this one guy grabs my phone and he's looking and he's moving things up and he goes, I don't know. So it wasn't until I got to the Connecticut airport about 4 hours later that when I got onto the Wi-Fi there and I started to check the news, because I still couldn't make phone calls or texts, or WhatsApp wasn't working, that I saw that Rogers was out. And I went, oh, wow, that's massive. And the first place I went to was oh, I felt so sad for Derek, my husband. I'm like, how's he going to run the restaurant? How's that all going to work without internet? And then I thought, well, maybe he'll have internet by the time um, I get there, or by the time 5, 6, 7 o'clock rolls around. And it's like, no, no. I flew from Connecticut to Washington and was having dinner, and I ended up chatting with these two other women who were going in very different places than I was. And then I'd look at the news and it was still out and nothing was working. And I went, well, I guess I'll find out how things went when I get home. So it was a very strange experience to be in another country and not be able to communicate with anybody. And that was kind of weird. I just had to let go. It's like, it's okay. Everything's going to work out. And so it did. And you know what? It worked out so well. I just have to add this. My flight landed early. I was through customs in about 5 minutes. Like literally, they looked at my sheet, said, go here, had my bag and out the door in 10 minutes, which is amazing considering all the stories we hear about what happens at Toronto Pearson Airport. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, it's all good. It's all in flow. But letting go is this great energy, and it allows us to expand into other possibilities. It allows us to let go of previous mistakes. It allows us to let go of our current imperfections. Not that we have any, but if you feel like you do. I'm joking. But the inability to let go of the past, creates this prison in our mind, and it allows us to feel paralyzed. And that's actually real and compelling. I don't want to minimize anybody who feels really caught in something from their past and they feel they can't get beyond it. It's a very real and compelling experience for us, not only intellectually, but emotionally and physically. And this is where mindful empathy and self-compassion play a key role in creating internal safety for us so that we know we are okay to let go. And that sometimes is also a process. And, just to be really gentle with ourselves, to recognize we're in that moment of suffering. And that is, as Kristen Neff talks about in empathy, mindful empathy, that is part of our human condition, that we all suffer, and that can we just be kind and gentle and loving with ourselves when we are in that place of fear or freezing or in lockdown with something from our history. And it's okay. It's okay. And to allow ourselves to move through it in a really gentle, loving place, instead of feeling like it just compiles the sense of we're wrong or we're bad, we're not good enough. Because how many of us have been in situations where we felt emotionally stunted and fearful? And David Hawkins, in his book, Letting Go, writes how integrity, spiritual intention, and our willingness to surrender to the presence of God within us is the pathway of the heart. And it is the pathway to knowing that letting go is our superpower. But there's different levels of consciousness and emotions that determine how we move along and how quickly we can let go. The more we're tapping into love, the more we're tapping into courage. It's easier to let go. But if we're in fear or shame or even, well, anger can propel us, but it can also impede us from letting go because it can have us stand in our righteousness. So, it's important to recognize where we are and what we are feeling, because then it allows us to be gentle with ourselves and kind and create that internal safety so that, it's all right. I'm safe to let go. But if we're bringing lack or we're bringing anxiety into things, it really, it's real. And this is where you want to be very gentle with yourself. This is where we also want to stand in our spiritual practice, because living from spirit will allow us to let go and expand our consciousness, moving towards more peace and joy, ultimately love. And yeah, we want to get to that place of enlightenment. And if you get there before you're like 105, let me know how you've gotten there, because I'm still working on that one. But it's when we can be that gentle, loving being, that we can also find and uncover and discover what the life lesson is for us. And our subconscious mind always knows that there is a lesson to be learned in every painful event. But, we've also been taught to resist learning it, and that, we need to stand in our righteousness of right and wrong, and letting go is saying, it just is. It simply just is. And then I have choice in how I bring myself to something. And as I bring myself into being connected to my essence, then I can release those barriers. So letting go, being surrendered into the divine, means feeling that nothing needs to be changed. And everything is unfolding perfectly just as it is. It means not having a strong emotional reaction about something. We might feel it, but it's like it's a fleeting, it flows through us. And I was listening to a podcast with Mark Nepo, and it's interesting. He gave a beautiful analogy of, we are the tree and we come alive. We truly come alive when the wind blows through us. Just as like you watch a tree, how it comes alive when the leaves start to rustle and that wind is flowing through us. So the wind represents our emotions. We are not our emotions. We are the tree. We are the tree, solid, grounded, magnificent, expansive. And we allow the emotions to run through us. Not get caught up in collapsing into them or hanging on to something, hanging on to emotion. So it's all about letting go of attachments and enjoying something, but not needing it either for continued happiness. So we allow the joy and the lightness and the peace and everything to flow through us, just like the wind through the trees. And there are no power struggles to be right, no points to be proven, no judgment. Life flows effortlessly. So, like I said, surrendering, letting go is a powerful spiritual practice. And my question for you this morning is, what can you let go of? What have you been hanging on to? What limiting ideas about yourself are you clinging on to that are not bringing you joy? What are you resisting? What can you let go of so that you open yourself up and to the magnificence, just like the trees, that magnificent beingness? You don't have to do anything. Tree doesn't do anything. It just stands there and bees. No, that doesn't make sense. It stands there in its beingness of its magnificent. It stands there as bees. Well, no, that did not make sense. Sorry about that. But can you be? Can you be love? Be light? Be magnificent? Be open? Be conscious? And let the wind flow through you. For when we love ourselves, we recognize perfection is not required. Being able to love yourself and to love others motivates you to lead a life that is more aligned with your true purpose. Again, loving yourself does not require you to be perfect. As Ernest Holmes says, as we come to surrender all littleness, all fear and doubt, that great river of life flowing through the mind of God will renew our vigor, remake our strength, ennoble our being, heal our bodies, and bring peace to our hearts. An active thought, an active beingness will always be active in your body, flowing through you, bringing you expansiveness. So, again, how much time do you focus on self-criticism and who you are not and where you're not enough versus focusing on the knowingness, the beingness of love, power, peace, abundance, creative energy, being kind, generous, thoughtful? I could go on and on and on, but our beingness that is so expansive. So I invite you to enter into the divine, dive into the divine that you truly are, and let go of your smallness. Focus on the presence and the importance of each moment. For just, it's funny, there is only one mind. Reverend Fred talked about being present. Well, the present is truly a gift. The here and now are the only place and time where any person can take an action that will make a better world. So I invite you to lay a foundation for a successful tomorrow by being all that you are, and let go. Let go. Let that wind flow. And so it is. Thank you so much for being present here today. And I'm so grateful for all of you who watch online on Sundays or in the archives later on. Thank you so much. I am going to bring up our giving affirmation, and I invite you to say this together with me. I live in a universe of abundance as I freely and joyfully give to my spiritual center. I recognize I am the flow of abundance I share with all life. As I give, I receive. And so it is. And so it is. So, announcements. Well, first of all, we are continuing to donate to the Red Cross this month, as those funds will go to the Ukraine. And you can make your donation@globaltruthcentertoronto.com. Know that there is a board meeting today at 11:15, and you're welcome to join us. If you need the link, please just send me an email, revhelen@globaltruthcentertoronto.com, and I'll send you the link. And aside from that, know that at any time, if you need support, you can reach out to a practitioner. So please, where is our little... That's not it. Here it is. You can contact practitioners on our website. So just go to our leadership, and the full list of practitioners is there, and we're happy to have you reach out to us, and we're happy to pray with you. So aside from that, that is it. I'm going to bring Deb back in for our final song. And here you go, Deb. I will take off the donate button.
That's okay. You can leave it there.
Let's see. Well, I could leave it there. Yes,
there,
I
leave it
could.
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll leave it there.
Good.
All right. Thank you. And I so appreciate you being with us today, Deb.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad to be here. And this last song I'm going to sing is part of a new CD I just released. It's for the science. There's a song for each step of the Science of Mind treatment prayer, plus one intro song for purpose. And this is step 3. So here in the States, there's been a lot of grief and a lot of outrage and anger in the last couple of months. So we're all working on letting that go and raising ourselves up. In answer to your question, Reverend Helen, what can I let go of? I'm letting go of the illusion of powerlessness, especially in light of things in the world.
I just have to say, I love that. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. So here we go. This song is called Who I Am in Truth. I raise my hands up, I raise my heart up, I raise my mind up to you. With every word and with every choice and with everything that I do, I'm living and breathing who I am in truth. Letting go, giving up everything I'm not. I empty out and open up my mind with each new thought that gives me life, that gives me hope, that gives me more of who I am in this moment, right here where I stand. I raise my hands up, I raise my heart up, I raise my mind up to you. With every word and with every choice and with everything that I do, I'm living and breathing who I am in truth. As I receive and I accept this greater truth of who I am, I'm growing stronger, I'm growing wiser, trusting in the sacred plan that gives me life, that gives me hope, that gives me more of who I am in this moment, right here where I stand. I raise my hands up, I raise my heart up, I raise my mind up to you. With every word
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Deb. I mean, and just everyone's commenting on how much they are inspired and loving your music. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
all.
much. It's such a treat and honor to have you join us. Thank you, Reverend Fred. You were just absolutely divine. So
Thank you.
appreciate you. And thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.